Have you ever felt the kind of fear that creeps into your bones, making it impossible to shake even long after it's over? Tonight, you'll feel it. Welcome to Chilling Tales for Dark Nights, where the lights are dim, the shadows come alive, the tension is high, and the scares are very real. This series is all about delving into the darker side of human imagination, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary and the unknown lurks around every corner. You're about to embark on a journey that will leave you sleeping with the lights on, questioning every creak and groan in your house, and wondering if the monster's under your bed or something. Watching you are more than just figments of your imagination. As you settle in for the night, grab a cup of coffee, or maybe a stiff drink, and get comfortable, because these tales are designed to unsettle and thrill you. From haunted mansions to creepy campfire stories, we'll explore the darkest recesses of the human psyche, where fear and anxiety reign supreme. So, buckle up, because the ride is about to get very bumpy indeed. Throughout this series, I'll be your guide, weaving a tapestry of terror that will keep you on the edge of your seat. But be warned, these stories are not for the faint of heart. They're designed to push you to the limits of your comfort zone, to make you question what's real and what's just your imagination running wild. So, if you're feeling brave, or just plain curious, then join me on this journey into the heart of darkness. Let's begin our first tale, shall we? It's a story of an old mansion, abandoned for decades, where the walls whisper secrets to the wind, and the shadows hide secrets that are better left unspoken. Our protagonist, a young journalist named Sarah, has always been drawn to the unknown, the unexplained, and the just plain weird. She's made a career out of debunking myths and legends, but this time, she's about to stumble upon something that will change her life forever. Sarah had heard the rumors, of course. Whispers of a ghostly presence, of doors slamming shut on their own, and of objects moving by themselves. But she didn't believe them, not for a second. After all, she was a scientist, a rational thinker, and she knew that there had to be a logical explanation for everything. So, when she received an invitation to stay in the mansion for a night, she jumped at the chance. Little did she know that she was walking into a nightmare from which she might never awaken. The mansion loomed before her, its towering spires and crumbling facade a testament to the decay of time. Sarah felt a shiver run down her spine as she stepped out of her car, but she pushed it aside, attributing it to the cool evening air. She grabbed her bag and approached the front door, which creaked ominously as she pushed it open. The air inside was musty and stale, heavy with the scent of rot and decay. As she stepped into the foyer, Sarah couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The walls seemed to press in on her, the shadows cast by the flickering candles dancing across the walls like dark, malevolent spirits. She shrugged it off, telling herself she was just being silly, but the feeling persisted. It was as if she was being watched, her every move scrutinized by unseen eyes. Sarah began to explore the mansion, her footsteps echoing off the walls as she made her way from room to room. Each one was more opulent than the last, with intricately carved furniture and priceless artwork adorning the walls. But despite the beauty, there was an air of sadness, of loss, that permeated every room. It was as if the mansion itself was mourning the loss of its former glory. As she delved deeper into the mansion, Sarah started to notice strange things. Doors would slam shut on their own, and the sound of whispers seemed to follow her wherever she went. At first, she thought it was just the wind, but soon, she realized that the whispers were forming words that sent shivers down her spine. The whispers grew louder, more urgent, and Sarah knew she had to find out what was going on. She searched the mansion from top to bottom, but there was no one in sight. It was as if she was alone, but she knew she wasn't. The presence was growing stronger, more menacing, and Sarah knew she had to get out, fast. But as she turned to make her way back to the front door, she realized that it was gone. The door had vanished, replaced by a wall of brick and mortar. Sarah was trapped, and she knew it. The whispers had stopped, and an oppressive silence had fallen over the mansion. It was as if the presence was waiting for her to make her next move. Sarah's heart was racing, her breath coming in short gasps. She knew she had to think, to come up with a plan, but her mind was a blank. The presence was closing in, and she knew she was running out of time. She took a deep breath, trying to calm herself down, but it was no use. The fear was too intense, too overwhelming. Suddenly, the lights flickered and died, plunging the mansion into darkness. Sarah was alone, surrounded by the oppressive silence. She knew she had to move, to find a way out, but her legs seemed rooted to the spot. The presence was closing in, and she knew she was about to face her worst nightmare. The darkness seemed to have a life of its own, pulsing with a malevolent energy that threatened to consume her. Sarah's heart was racing, her breath coming in short gasps. She knew she was on the brink of something terrible, something that would change her life forever. And then, it happened. A figure emerged from the darkness, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. Sarah tried to scream, but her voice was frozen in her throat. The figure began to move towards her, its presence filling the room with an unspeakable horror. Sarah tried to run, but her legs wouldn't move. She was trapped, frozen in terror as the figure loomed over her. The presence was suffocating, crushing her beneath its weight. And then, everything went black. When Sarah came to, she was lying on the floor, the lights blazing back to life around her. The mansion was silent once more, the presence gone. But Sarah knew that she had been changed forever. She had faced her deepest fears, and she had emerged scarred but alive. As she stumbled out of the mansion, she knew that she would never be the same again. The experience had left her shaken, but it had also given her a newfound appreciation for the unknown. She realized that there were forces beyond human comprehension, forces that lurked in the shadows, waiting to strike. Sarah drove away from the mansion, her mind reeling with the implications of what she had experienced. She knew that she would never forget the terror she had faced, but she also knew that she would be back, drawn to the unknown like a moth to a flame. And so, our tale comes to an end, but the darkness lingers, waiting to pounce on its next victim. If you're feeling brave, share your own chilling stories in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat all night long.